Okay, I think we should now start. Right at the beginning, if just to let the videos run smoothly and the presentation run smoothly, I would request you all, besides Vanessa, that is to mute your audio so that during the session there is no disturbance. And we can unmute at the end of the presentation so that we can all, ask Vanessa questions related to her presentation. So I will start with a welcome first. Welcome on behalf of MOCA, Vanessa, and to all our participants for this session on artistic and technical Iberian influences on Goan paintings. As you all know, our resource person for today is Dra. Vanessa Antunes. And Dra. Vanessa is an integrated researcher of ARTIS, that is Instituto de História da Arte, the Faculdade de Letras of University of Lisbon. She's also a coordinator of the research projects, the Artibus-UNL Goa. And MOCA is part of this research project as well. And this project is financed by the Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation in Lisbon. In her presentation today, Dr. Vanessa will compare 3 Goan paintings of the same period and theme and establish a correlation between the materials used and the artistic trends, and try and reveal similar procedures and ideological perspectives. Now, I welcome you, Vanessa, and over to you for this presentation, which I'm sure is going to be very interesting for all of us, all of us from all across, from London, Goa, Portugal, and whoever joins us during the session. Zoom is amazing that way. We are able to reach to such a wide audience.
Yes, that's true.
Once again, Vanessa, and over to you.
Oh, Natasha, I have to thank you firstly for this invitation, of course, and to say that is with great pleasure that I participate with you in this project, because we can find so many interesting things here, and we have so much yet to study. That is a big challenge to understand all this correlation between Portuguese and Goan painting. It's a really interesting world, and I think we have a lot to discover. This painting Ecce Homo was a first discover, and a first step in this discovery, and it's really interesting to see that we have similar materials, but a way of applying them that is a particular way. So I think that is in the particularities that we have the main juice of the difference between the artists. And this is an interesting thing to do, because we have we may have some comparisons and make some comparisons between painters, between epochs, between materials that are really some similar, some really different, that how we will see. So I think we have an interesting path to go. So I just wanted firstly to thank you and to wish the best for the new museum.
Thank you so much.
For the opening of the new museum that is so rich and so interesting to see.
Thank you, Vanessa. And it's been such a pleasure working with you over the last several years. And I think without much further ado, we can start with the presentation.
Yes, thank you. So in this work, we intend to characterize producing techniques and materials used in this Ecce Homo painting from the beginning of the 17th century, made at the time of the Iberian Union government in Goa. This painting belongs to Museum of Christian Art, and it is one of the most interesting paintings of the museum. But we have a lot to discover also. So we wanted to perform the determination of the manufacturing processes, the material characterization, of ground and priming layers, but also of pigment layers. And so this was the scope of this study. As you know, knowledge of Goan painting materials at this epoch is an almost unknown issue. So in this study, we analyzed cross-sections and studied them by micro-Raman to identify core materials. And micro-Raman was complemented with other techniques like optical microscopy, energy dispersive XRF fluorescence, SEM, scanning electron microscopy, and micro-Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. And the paintings were also examined by infrared reflectography that led us to some conclusions that I will share with you. Okay, so in this work, these three paintings of the same age and the same theme were compared. The main studied painting, that is a Cheomo, the painting A, dates from the beginning of the 17th century. Can see the paintings? Okay. You can see. The others can see the paintings, right? Okay. The first painting is the Mocha painting from the beginning of the 17th century. This painting is the main painting that we are studying here, was compared with another Goan painting under the same theme, this B painting here, belonging to Santa Monica Monastery, Old Goa also from the 17th century. And then we have a third painting, this one, that is a very interesting painting that belongs to Santa Casa da Misericórdia of Sertã in Portugal, that has the particular characteristic of having two representations overlapped. So behind this one that you're seeing, we have another painting from the 16th century, and then we have this one from the 17th century that is the last one that you can see. So these materials are compared, and Ecce has this second Ecce is a polychrome and gilt wood painting, also from a known author, and we have here this particular detail of the wound, the chest wound, that is interesting. And we have also the gold leaf applied in the background of the painting. Both of the Goan paintings are made on wood, teca, and the Portuguese painting is painted on chestnut wood. So here we have typical representations of Ecce as the European shape was used. And we will see a bit of that. Okay. So the theme, this theme that we are studying, Ecce, is well known in Western culture. The main differences respecting the three objects that we are studying are the use of Western models adapted to Goan forms of painting, such as the eyes with an Asian shape, resulting in this miscegenation models of Indo-Portuguese style. And this theme is described by several treatises, such as Francisco Pacheco, the Spanish Francisco Pacheco in the 17th century, in his treatise that he highlights the importance of this theme for Christological scenes, the moment when Christ is shown to the people. And this is a theme that is cherished by the Counter-Reformation Mannerist Catholicism. So it was a very popular theme in the 17th century, 16th to 17th century. This painting of Ecce Homo that we are seeing in your left, the Museum of Christian Art Painting, as it measures 79 by 55 centimeters, and at a singular aspect with characteristics of a unique work of art. It presents a traditionally European scene of life cycles and passion of Christ, but it has an Indo-Portuguese character, miscegenation. When we compare to Portuguese paintings under the same theme, we can see this Ecce Homo, by example, that is from the 16th century of Museu Nacional de Arte Antiga, and we can see some similarities in the hands. By example, the way that the rope is the nodes are to the connected to the hand and to the chest. And we can see some similarities, this black background and the use of gold also. And we will see in particular this use of gold in the next slide. But we have here in Mocha also this Ecce Homo as a combined representation of Christ as man of sorrows, also King of the Jews, because he represents also the wounds. You can see here the wounds, like in some engravings. From this one is from 1490, 1510. This man of sorrows of German origin, and we can see those wounds. So when the Ecce Homo has those type of wounds, he's also called the man of sorrows. And we have this in the Goan painting, in this studied Goan painting. But we will also see some resemblances with this Flemish style that we have here. This engraving from published by Sadler, the first, dated from 1579 to 1797. So we can see those Flemish, German influences in this painting. And this is similar to the influences that the Portuguese have, and also the Spanish, the Peninsula, the Iberian people have at this time. We can see with a little more approaching a little more these images. We can see that we have some resemblances in the crown and in the way of making the mouth, and here the eyes are the big difference because there are Indian eyes. So we can see that there is an adaptation to go on style on a North European engraving of a North European influence. In terms of construction techniques, we could find the use of the grid method. That is very interesting. This grid method that is under the ground layer. As you can see here, some traces from the grid. In this grid method, allow to perform the copies easily for the painters. And we have this in this painting. So the infrared reflectography has shown also that we have different techniques, construction techniques. You can see also here some parts of the grid method. So this grid method would put the painting in parts, so it would be easier to copy these squares from the original engraving. So we think that the painter it probably has copied this painting from another painting or from an existing engraving. In this grid method, so we have we can see the grid method here in the infrared reflectography, but also we can see hairstyle changes, because we have here, as you can probably see, I think you can see, but we have another style, hairstyle that was painted firstly over the shoulders, and in the end we don't have the final composition, we don't have anything over the shoulders. So the artist had some regrets concerning the painting of the final painting of this this face, the face of Christ. But we also see some other changes, like in the arms and in the fingers. You can see this last finger here, but we can see in the infrared reflectography that we have had other fingers represented here. So also in the arms we have a small difference in the shape and size of this arm, and this these kind of changes are not repaintings, are made from originally changed by the author. As this one also, that we can see that they have an embroidery here. The mantle, the Christ's mantle, had an embroidery, and that in the final this embroidery was covered and is not visible by naked eye. Here we can, by this infrared reflectography, we can see that the metal leaf was applied here to bring luminosity to this center, to this area that is one of the most important areas of the painting, that identified the Christ's wound in the scene. So the importance given to this area was highlighted by applying this metal leaf. And as we cannot see it by naked eye, because there is the red lake over it, but when this painting was finished, this would be probably really easy to see, this shining, this luminosity, intentional luminosity given from this metal leaf. In terms of materials, we could understand that we have gold leaf that is applied in 2 layers. You can see here a first older layer, and then here a second layer of gold leaf. So in the ground layers here are also, that is this part that you have here, the brown ground layers, will contribute to an aesthetical value because this choice of the color influences. It has a big connection to the final result. So we understood this type of ground layer that has at least 2 layers. Here you can see a more grinded layer over a coarser layer. And then we can also understand that earth pigments were used. And we have earth pigments and kaolinite as a matrix ground of these both Goan paintings. So iron oxide as a hematite and goethite, having also grains of carbon black, were found in the composition of these ground layers. But we also found by microsphere the oil and oxalates in the constitution of this layer were also found. So we can see that the presence of oxalates indicates some degradation of the layer, and so we can see that the painting has an old constitution. And these oxalates and carboxylates are representing here a degradation of these materials. And a kaolinite that we found is a common clay mineral used when calcined as a functional extender in ground and paint layers. It is a mineral that has it is durable. It has physical durability that is improved. The physical durability is improved by the adding this kaolinite. And this kaolinite has a covering power with flow properties, being chemically inert. So these characteristics will reduce the number of the usual needed costly pigments. The adding of kaolinite helps in the economy of pigments. And for the black color, we could see that this black color was mainly composed by hematite and by goethite, those iron pigments, iron-based pigments that constituted both layers. We also could see, as you can see here in the image, that we have 2 layers of black pigments. First, that is more close to the gold, and another one, and this last one. This one can be a repaint. We don't know, but it is probably a repainting. So we found as main components this hematite and this goethite, but also kaolinite and cerussite and hydrocerussite. So we have like a composition of a black that has different density. The first of minor density, this one, and then the second one with a bigger density in the background of the painting. Maybe this repainting made by the artist or afterwards. Contrary to Portuguese painting, this phosphor that was found indicates that it's probably lamp black that was used in to perform this this background. Portuguese paintings will have bone black as the main often found component, and this bone black is recommended by collaborator treatises, and this pigment was not found in Goan paintings, in both Goan paintings. So this suggests that the painter was possibly in the knowledge of the fact that bone black, mostly used as colorant in artists' painting, should not be used in mural painting because it causes a fluorescence. This fact is still respected nowadays in the making of Indian mural paintings by using lamp black. So we can make here, by this use of lamp black, a connection to mural paintings. Was this a mural painter? We don't know. We still don't know. But we can put this possibility. And we could see also that red was painted after black. So the painter was firstly painted the black from the background. And you can see here the red over the black. So by this macro photography, it is really easy, and then confirmed by reflectography, it was easy to define. So in the red layers, we found mostly cinnabar, Cameron black, and hematite. These pigments were distributed in two different layers, but hematite has bigger frequency in the first layer, and vermilion has a bigger occurrence in the finishing layer. And this is interesting because as vermilion was most expensive than hematite, it was used only in the last layer. This is interesting to see. And the protein existence in this specific color, that is a different protein may be related to the preparation of cinnabar mineral, that is cinnabar for painting, because Filipe Nunes, the Portuguese treatise, indicates that this preparation of the cinnabar could be added to gum water and fig tree milk in order to obtain a diluted paint, or adding white wine vinegar or honey, and possibly earwax when desired. The dense paint or even the preparation of this pigment might contain egg white. So and the finishing of this color was made after painting the background. So we have here the presence of proteins as a difference to the other colors that were made with oil. So we have also in painting too the use of these same paintings, the second Goan painting, the use of these same paintings, and also of Latin yellow too was detected. It's an addition to the painting one that has only cinnabar, like and hematite as main components. In the white color, we can find that the pigment of carbon black increases in quantity in the shadow tone. So for the white color, we have cerussite as main component in this carbon black, but also hematite and calcium carbonate and cinnabar, also a little bit of cinnabar. But we can see that the what was used to perform the shadow tones was carbon black. That is the one that increases most when we go to the shadow, when we study the shadow tones. And we have also cerussite and kaolinite in the perizonium, Christ's perizonium, in the lighter tones. But besides this, we found gypsum also, and we also can compare that we found this finding of gypsum and also of calcite in this white layer could be connected to the wish to use an inferior covering capacity and reflective power. So these pigment fillers that are gypsum and calcite were added probably to bring density to the layer and increase the transparency to these lighter tones. In this, as a result, a more realistic line cloth representation. So we find it in the perizonium intentionally to bring this resemblance to the line cloth. Also, we could find like carboxylates and oxalates that by microscopic technique that indicate that demonstrate this degradation of the color. And we can see also, well, in a final intention, that the artist had this knowledge of the pigments and the pigment fillers and worked with that. For the flesh tones, we can see that cerussite, cinnabar, carbon black, and hematite were the main components. We have a double layer of cinnabar, of the cinnabar as matrix, but it has also goethite and hematite, and also cerussite and carbon black is used also in the shadow tones, is increased in the shadow tones. And we also have kaolinite, a little bit of kaolinite. And here we also have calcite. So calcite creates also a less contrasted surface between lighter tones and shadow tones. And this results in a closer technique to real flesh tone. Same major pigments can also be found in flesh of Portuguese flesh tones of Spanish and Portuguese paintings, and is described also by Portuguese treatises and Spanish. Francisco Pacheco also tells that using a single layer of carnation with as the intention of conferring some transparency to the painted body. So they added this calcite to give this more resemblance to reality, to real flesh tones. In the green color, we have it is the most interesting color of this painting, because we have shown, the results have shown that the red is made of carbon black in sericide pigments, but it has also a copper-containing pigment, probably verdigris, that is often found in Portuguese paintings of the century also. But this pigment was not possible to be identified by micro-Raman technique. In this technique, this difficulty concerns high fluorescence background, and the fact that also verdigris is chemically unstable, reflecting to oxygen and light, and originates this discoloration, turning to brown over the years. If you see here, you cannot see the green, but the brown of the green, the green turned brown over the years. So this is noticeable in both Goan paintings, and is also perceived by ancient treatises like Theophilos or Cimini, that both claim that this verdigris is unstable and turns into brown. So it's a very well-known thing since the antiquity. And we also have the most interesting thing in this green is that we could find particles of silver and copper mixed in this verdigris. So these particles were found, as you can see here. Number one, the silver particle are small particles, and this could be due to contaminated copper strips in silver copper alloys used to make verdigris pigment. But this green may be due also to a mixture of saffron dye with verdigris and blue-greenish artificial pigment. One of India Chronicle writers, that is Pedro Marte de Angleria, 1493-1525, indicates garzo as a blue unusual color synthesized by distillation process. And Vitruvius also identifies caroleum as an artificial blue pigment. And also Georgius Agricola describes its production. So after being synthesized in similar conditions to verdigris, silver sheets were scraped off. This could leave small particles of silver in final pigment for painting. And this is a plausible explanation to the silver particles that we found in this green color. Moreover, this recipe is connected to alchemical contexts by some authors, and the painter of this epoch was connected to divine capacities on the 17th century, to be connected to the earth and having divine capacity. This finding of silver here in this specific layer can also be connected to materia medica, that the elements of materia medica attributed that describe that sulfate of copper could be used also obtained from ingots of gold containing a certain quantity of silver. And if we consider the big circulation of gold and silver ingots at the time, this material could have silver remains in its constitution. Also, the addition of silver leaf metal must be considered here. It will have the purpose to bring light and brilliance to the red representations, to this reed representation, because the quality of translucence of verdigris pigment could be poor. So This varies according to the process of production and resulting in a raw or in a purified red degree. So this green pigment is still used nowadays in Indian mural paintings. Besides ancient knowledge of incompatibility of this pigment with lime, we can also consider this finding of silver as an addition, an intentional addition. And we can see here the green that is brown now, right? The layer of green here between other layers. So this green has changed because due to the thermohygrometrical conditions. We can see here a high, we measured when we were in Goa, we measured the temperature, the luxus, and the humidity of the place, and we can see that it's a big humidity, and in this degrades the organic, promotes the degradation of the organic pigments. So we can we must also consider this as a main issue here, and we have also a relation to the thick, the support. The teca is a support that has a big quantity of oil. So when we connect the relation of oil to the pigments, we also have a difficult conservation issue to solve. So in the end, we can, and I'm finishing for final remarks. We could see that into this integration of compounds brought by different techniques in this comparative study of Ecce paintings as demonstrated to be of great importance concerning knowledge of materials used and its current state of conservation. So visual observations complemented by analytical results have revealed a preservation plan as a priority towards the safeguarding of these materials of this studied Goan paintings. The techniques used have revealed compounds of pigments and pigments mixtures used by the artists who painted Goan Ecce, also unveiling an adjustment to local resources by choosing a simple color palette, mainly composed by earth pigments, besides lead white and lamp black, and probably verdigris. Earth pigments and lamp black connected the painters of Goan paintings to the knowledge of the practice of traditional Indian mural painting prepared from vegetable and mineral pigments. Iberian Europe influence of the choice of materials to prepare is noticeable in the construction of ground layers or in the use of green copper-based pigments, lead white, and in the technique of painting from shadow to light, when you add the carbon black. Also, authors seem to have learned from European painting practices in line with Portuguese traditions, and the significant presence and influence of Christianity in Goan culture are reflected in iconographic and materials used. These findings allowed us to establish a comparison between the materials used and artistic treatises of the same epoch, revealing similar procedures and ideological perspectives. Likewise, the painting profession as a creator, but also as a facilitator of migrated forms, was a piece of information concerning rigid patterns in formats of counter-reformation commissions. Of course, further work is needed for a more comprehensive understanding of the influence of Portuguese and Spanish art and ideologies in Goan painting. And although the studies such as this enable to deepen this knowledge, proving that revision of the themes and the understanding of materials and their adequacy to issues when necessary are the most significant proof of an inventive and adaptable way of Goan painting handling in line to Iberian and European innovative artistic movement of the 17th century. So we can say in the end that we have a painter that follows European characteristics, but it has its own single characteristics also. And if you want to see, to learn a little bit more about this study, you can consult this article that we have already published. And I'm ready for discussion.
Well, thank you, Vanessa, for a very interesting and a very scientific explanation and understanding of how the paintings, the colors that we use, the materials that we used in these paintings. I now throw open the session for questions from our participants to Vanessa.
I have a few questions. First of all, the painting, I'm sorry, it was very difficult. It was a fascinating talk. Thank you, Vanessa. But it's probably the connection with London, which is a little bit difficult. I couldn't understand a lot of it. So I apologize if I'm asking questions you've answered. But the painting itself, did it have an insert frame around, or was it part of a triptych or a bigger painting? I didn't understand that.
Yes, we cannot, we haven't studied that because the painting is, it has no frame. So we don't know if it is part of a bigger complex or not.
But from the size, for example, in Italy, we have certain sizes, which tells you if it's part of a triptych or if it's usually the size gives you an idea. Here you have no, we have no,
we have no clues for that answer.
Okay. Was the gilding oil gilding or was the gilding water gilding?
Oil gilding, yes.
All around.
Furnished. It's oil gilding.
The center, which is fascinating, which had the patch, which was, you said it was different. Was it because they originally put some mica on it? Because usually when they do it metal or silver, they apply a warm color on it, a shellac to give it a mica effect.
See, sorry, you asked, your question was?
Where the rope is, there was this patch, which was
here, right?
Yes. Was that because they applied a shellac on it to give you give the mica effect?
We can see that it's not metal leaf, but we had no. We don't know if it's silver or gold, but we can see by the reflectography that is metal leaf. So we can. I was trying to find. You can see here, by the reflectography that is metal leaf. So it was the intention was to to make it as a shiner local to see.
Yes,
but yes, and they put it the lake, yes, over the red lake, over this metal leaf.
Yes, maybe to give it a different effect. So you look at the heart slightly differently. Now, has it been, one thing I haven't understood, has it been restored? Because the drips that you see, I mean, the wounds look original, but the drips look as if they might have been added later on or not.
Sorry, I don't know. The drips are
the blood that is, you see the wounds on the body.
The blood, yes. We had no information that we could that this could be added afterward. We couldn't find information on that. So, but by observation, I understand that this is original.
Because very often what I've seen in Goa I've had 8 paintings examined, samples examined here. And we found that drips, very often these drips were added later on.
This could be the case, but I don't think so. I think this is original. But we have we will. It's not hard to prove that, because cinnabar was used at that time. If it's a later edition, you will have also a later but antique edition. You will have also the same pigments. So prove it as in a later edition, I don't know if it is possible. What we could see that was a different edition was the black in the background, where we add 2 layers, and we see that they are different. So it's a later edition. I don't know if it is by the artist or if it is by a later restoration.
Right. And the last question, sorry about that. It's fascinating. It's been brilliant. Thank you, Vanessa. The last question was about the extender, the bulking. I've noticed that the results I have had, that on at least 80% of the paintings, they used a bulking, an extender with a pigment to voluminize the pigment, to make the painting go further. Did you find that with all your examinations in Goa, that they put a lot of extender?
A kaolinite? Do you refer to kaolinite?
Yes, to make the color, to increase the amount of color. So they're using less color.
Yes.
And then they put extenders like quartz. We found that there was a lot of addition to the color.
It's the case of kaolinite here. Yes, we found that kaolinite was the extender here. Yeah.
And what did you see?
Not only in this painting, but in others that I'm studying, we have the same. Yeah.
And what did they use on? I didn't understand what they used on this painting as an extender.
Kaolinite. The kaolinite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Katrina, for all your questions. Is there anyone else who would like to ask Vanessa for any clarification, any interest, any feedback on her research that she has done? I think there's somebody on chat asking us something. Vanessa, can you see the question?
I have it.
Renaissance paintings use quite a bit of ultramarine blue, mostly imported as lapis lazuli from what is Afghanistan. Were there any pigments used that were not found in Peninsular India? In your research, in this case, Vanessa, on this painting,
well, in this case,
that were not from India?
Were there any pigments used that were not found in Peninsular India? So we're starting our studies, so we hadn't analyzed all our paintings completely. So in this case, we have no blue. We have no blue colors. We have red colors and white and black and the red, but the blue is not used.
Mm-hmm. But besides blue, Vanessa, were there any colors that were found that were not original pigments to India? That did you find any pigments that were used that were not originally from India in any of your analysis?
All these pigments that we found can and must be original from India.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can find all these pigments and fillers in India.
In India.
Soil. Yeah.
Okay, Akshay. Okay, you have another question, Akshay, which is, there are several themes of crucifixion, for example, with 3 nails or 4. What themes influenced Goan art?
With 3 nails or 4. You mean by nails?
The crucifixion nails. Usually, Akshay, in the sculptures that we see, usually there are 3 nails in most of the sculptures that we find in Goa. But we do have, in the Museum of Christian Art, we do have one which has 4 nails. So we do have one sculpture in ivory which has 4 nails. But usually we've seen only examples of 3 nails.
I cannot answer that because
Yeah.
I haven't performed that study. So it was.
Nor have I studied, but I'm just telling from my experience of seeing number of crucifixions and crucifixes, not crucifixions, but crucifixes, that generally we find 3 nails, but we do have in our collection one which has 4 nails. So I think it's popular to have 3 nails, but there is this one example that we have in the museum which is with 4 nails. I hope that gives you're satisfied with that answer for now. Anyone else would like to ask Vanessa any questions related to today's presentation? They're also running out of time. There is. Well, I think no one else has any questions for Vanessa. So I would like to say thank you to Vanessa for this very interesting scientific analysis of and comparison of these 3 paintings. Also, let me just put on my video. As well as, you know, this is just the beginning of the research, and there will be so much more that you will uncover and discover during your further analysis. And good luck to you and the team. And Mocha is always there to extend the support in whatever way possible. Thank you once again. Thank you to all our participants for joining us in this session. And we will shortly be sharing the link of we'll be putting up the link of the YouTube, of this session on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Once again, thank you so much, Vanessa, and wishing you.
And I wish you the best luck for the new opening of the
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Hopefully 2021 will be a good year for all of us. Let's stay positive and focused. And all of you, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and stay safe. Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah. Merry Christmas for all.
Bye.
Bye. And keep safe. Keep safe.
Keep safe. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.